A look back on a monumental journey.
I was desperate to make an impact on this team. I was desperate to show people that didn't give me a chance that they made a mistake.
Welcome to the NBA, Udonis Haslem.
A dream fulfilled and a legacy built.
No rebounds, no rings.
I was a man on a mission.
Miami, world champions for the third time in 8 years.
He takes us through so many prized moments.
This is inside the Heat.
Possessing high character and morality.
You look for things that fulfill you when you get to this point in life, and things like this fulfill me. Let's go over here on the other side.
Setting the standard for others to follow.
I can thank the Shaquille O'Neals and the Alonzo Mournings and the Eddie Joneses and the Brian Grants. Great basketball minds. I'm going to pass that to the next generation. We got to have it right here and right here.
Forever cemented in Heat history. Inside the Heat, Udonis Haslem. Welcome to Inside the Heat. I'm Eric Reed. On this introspective episode, we go into the archives with the Heat's culture carrier, Udonis Haslem. The captain will view moments from throughout his legendary career, many of which he'll be seeing for the first time in years. As he reflects on his 17-year journey and the home he's established right here at 601 Biscayne Boulevard, we start at the beginning, just down the road at Miami Senior High School.
Got a nice little setup in here, huh?
Okay, we're gonna start with the very first clip, so Ariana, go ahead and roll it.
It feels great, man. We've been working hard all year. That's what we've been waiting for.
High school state championship.
Inside to Haslem, he's got position, and he just muscles his way over Ben Knapp. Inside, there's Rogers, blocked by Haslem inside. Get that stuff out of here.
Man, that was the first time I could probably say I was a champion at something, and it felt good. I mean, I just wanted to continue to be the best at whatever I was doing.
Haslem creating some more space. Tipped by Dangerfield. Haslem just owning that area. That's his office. He has set up shop underneath, and Haslem has taken over.
And to be able to do it with those group of guys who, I grew up with, and understanding what we had to do to get to school every day, what we had to avoid to stay out of trouble. And I was just happy to see us, finally be on top.
Miami Senior High Stingeries win the Class 6A Boys Championship.
I miss all those guys, and we'll forever have that bond. Bop! Take that with you. Get in the hole, ball.
You know what that was from?
But it looks like it's from Europe, but that was probably the evolution, of the person that people see today, was that process. Not being drafted and having the opportunity to be away from my family and friends and just really focus in on myself. That was the beginning of the evolution of the man, the person, the player that I am today. It all started, within those 9-10 months that I spent in France.
That focus and transformation caught the eye of many as he was finally given the opportunity to not only play in the NBA, but for the team he grew up watching here in his hometown of Miami.
Alston on the drive. Nice feed for Haslem. Blocked by Okur. Udonis, oh my. You talk about effort. Welcome to the NBA, Udonis Haslem. You are making an impact.
Man. I was just desperate, man. I was desperate to make an impact on this team.
Here's Haslem again. He has been everything for Miami.
I was desperate to be a part of the NBA. I was desperate to show people that didn't give me a chance that they made a mistake.
And a slam dunk by Haslem. Haslem over Ilgauskas.
What you're looking at right there is a driven, obsessed, focused alpha UD. Still alpha, but I was just a little younger then. But I mean, you're looking at a complete madman in the most positive way possible. To be a part of something that has been my dream for a long time.
But the hard work did not stop. Haslem continued proving himself, earning him the next step in his career as a Heat lifer.
Haslem trying to get his hand on it. Did look at him hustle to that loose ball rebound.
I can't see a better place, or a better time than to be right here with the Miami Heat right now. And one thing that, Coach Riley said when I first got here was, hard work doesn't guarantee anything, but without it, you don't have a chance. So I just continue to work hard and give myself a chance.
Man, I was young. That was my first contract with the Miami Heat, and the crazy thing about it is that I wasn't satisfied, and it wasn't just from a financial standpoint, but I wasn't satisfied yet.
Udonis steals it. Udonis down the floor. Two-hand jam, Udonis. Oh, that's some intense defense.
I still felt like I had a lot to prove. I still felt like there were some people that didn't still feel like I had deserved to be in the NBA, and I still felt like I had more work to do. And if you look at this interview and you hear what I said I'm going to continue to work hard.
Yes. Talking about energy, talking about being able to jump and run.
Rebound, Udonis fights for it. Udonis has got it. Puts it on the floor, up with it, foul, got it to go. And Udonis battling through the foul. Everybody on their feet here, loving that effort.
And for the Miami native, the grind did not end there.
That was a stepping stone for me, and it was definitely felt like I made a little leeway towards reaching my goal, but by no means was I satisfied. I was still hungry. I was still searching. I was still searching for something.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. As we continue digging through our extensive video library of press conferences, highlights, and events, it's really clear how much the Miami Heat respect, admire, and appreciate Udonis Haslem. UD has always been the consummate team player, doing whatever it takes to help his team win, even if that means sacrifice on his part. And no one knows that more than Dwayne Wade. The two came into the NBA with Miami together back in 2003. They have been inseparable ever since.
I almost feel like that's the rookie-sophomore game. It's hard to tell.
It is.
Man, that was the first time I had allowed myself to actually enjoy where I was for a second. I don't think I had ever been to LA outside of just playing with my basketball team. I wanted to take in the whole experience. I wanted to take in the opportunity to be around all-stars. I wanted to take in the opportunity to be around my peers. And, even though those guys were drafted and I wasn't, I felt right at home, and that was kind of like my first step of feeling like I had kind of arrived and accomplished something in the NBA. Just the first step, a baby step.
So you started with Wade together, and then you ended with
Udonis! You did it! Triple-double for Wade, and Haslem scored the goal.
I just didn't want to be the guy to mess up his triple-double. It's crazy that he had his hands up before I even shot the basketball. So for me, it was way more pressure on that shot than probably a regular season basketball game. I'm just happy I made it. That's in my wheelhouse. That's my shot. We made that shot, that play, thousands of times.
Wade, UD trying to provide the screen. Bounce pass to UD. Open for the jump shot.
Oh,
Got it,
baby.
UD!
Yes, baby. Wow.
So many hours in the gym when nobody's watching. He's making that pass to me, I'm shooting. I'm setting screens for him, rolling. That's second nature for us, but even in that specific moment, knowing that that was his last game and there was an opportunity to send him out with a triple-double, I was a little nervous. I'm happy I got it done for him.
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh announced they are joining forces to play for our hometown Heat.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
We're going to do what's best for our team, and we're willing to sacrifice. So whatever they may be, we want Udonis back, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that Udonis stays home.
This was a real interesting moment because at that time I didn't know CB well and I didn't know LeBron very well. I just knew them as competitors. For these guys to sacrifice for me and not even know me, it meant a lot.
Nice pass, Bosh. Udonis hammers it down.
10 of the shot clock, straight up James. Wide open, UD baseline, jumper, got it.
There was a mutual respect for me and LeBron, and I think he's a guy who definitely wanted me, to have his back in the trenches, as he searched and fought for a championship. For my brother Dwayne, what can I say about, the sacrifices he has made, over and over for the organization and over for me. And we continue to do that for each other. That's second nature.
Early in the 2010 season, Haslem was sidelined with a foot injury. He would not return until the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls, in which he provided the spark that Miami would need.
Coming in the ballgame real early, Udonis Haslem now. Let's see what the veteran can do coming off that foot surgery.
Haslem with the stuff. Udonis Haslem puts it down. Haslem showing some confidence.
Actually, the first time I've been here 8 years, so I'm just thankful. You know, it's been a long road, and like I said, just thank the man above that I was able to come back and like I said, contribute to a win.
Haslem from Bibby, that counts, and the foul.
Now, my main focus was getting on the boards. No rebounds, no rings.
The effort of Haslem has been inspirational here in the third quarter.
Coming back after being out that whole season, which was probably the toughest, probably one of the toughest years of my life. Ended up losing my mom around that same time. It was the first time the game of basketball had been taken away from me for so long. So I really had to do some soul searching. I was a man on a mission.
Udonis's mission would not end there. Number 40's quest continued, allowing him to earn back-to-back championships in the 2 seasons to follow.
Into the corner, wide open. Udonis got it. Big bucket here in the fourth. Fisher fakes, Fisher drives, blocked by Haslem.
And I don't take very much time to pat myself on the back or self-reflect, but this was a moment where I was able to sit back and look at some of the accomplishment.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. Udonis Haslem's entire 17-year career has been spent right here in Miami, the city that made him and molded him. He is the Heat's longest tenured player ever and the franchise's leading rebounder. He's also the only undrafted player in NBA history to last 17 years with the same team. That's really incredible. His impact on the team obvious, and UD's influence goes far beyond basketball.
Anytime you can help anybody, it feels good when you can give back. I mean, you know, it's all about giving. When you get in a situation where you can give, I think everybody should give.
I mean, for me, it was crazy because I get to go to these events and I know a lot of people at these events. So, you know, the impact for me is times 10. I've had personal relationships with a lot of these people sometimes, and, you know, they feel comfortable enough to me to come up and hug me and have conversations with me and speak to me. And, you know, for me, that just gives me a whole another level of satisfaction. You know, that I've actually created personal relationships with some of these people. Let's go over here on the other side. You know, in the past, before I was an NBA player, before I was anybody, you know, these people cared about me, these people supported me, and loved me for who I was.
Push it, push it. You got it.
Now having the opportunity to be on this platform with the Miami Heat and give back to these people, you know, it's just another thing that I'm thankful for.
There you go, sweetheart.
Look for things that fulfill you when you get to this point in life, and things like this fulfill me.
Get ready, set,
Growing up, I was kind of an overweight kid. I always wanted to have the opportunity to play football with my friends, but I was too big, so I would eat Subway to make sure I would make the weight just to be able to play with my boys. And coming full circle and being able to own my own chain, you know, many more to come, many more to come.
First franchise, might I say, my Subway. That story's no lie, man. I was a chubby kid, so, you know, I did used to eat Subway a lot, and this was something that I researched during my injury. When I had that injury throughout that season, it was something that I said, well, you know, if I can't play basketball, then, you know, what happens if this game is taken from me today? And I just wanted to start small, you know, doing something that I liked. Sat down with my business manager and my accountant, and we, you know, tossed a few ideas, and this was something that came up, and I was excited about it because I was a chubby kid. I was a Subway fan. I still eat Subway today, so, you know, I was excited about this opportunity. It was just to get my feet wet in the business world, man, and I knew, you know, once I opened this one that this was just the beginning of something special.
Needless to say, his feet are now soaked. Udonis has invested into his community to help fill the need for low-income housing. He also has ownership of 5 Subways, 2 Starbucks, 2 Auntie Anne's Pretzels, 2 Einstein Brothers, and 2 800-degree restaurants that he collaborated on with Wade.
We always talked about doing something together in the business space. We've had unbelievable chemistry on the basketball floor. We've built an amazing bond as brothers, and we wanted to take it a step further.
A couple years from now, you could be a manager somewhere. Or it could be you, it could be any of y'all. We growing together, we starting right here. We all starting together.
It's my career resource center that helped us out with a lot of hiring and a lot of employees, you know, for my Einstein and my Starbucks. And I got a chance to go to sit down with these people, and this is something that I wanted to do. These are people from my community, maybe on their second or third opportunity, chance. And I believe in second chance, I believe in third chance, I believe in a lot of people would have made a lot of different decisions if it wasn't for their circumstances.
And I was wondering why my father was always so hard on me, because life is hard.
You know, I just wanted these people to understand that as I grow as a businessman, I want to give these people an opportunity and a platform to grow as individuals and in their lives.
Most jobs that you go to, you normally don't see the boss there, and just knowing that you're going to have someone that's going to be hands-on with you is a great experience.
If the game of basketball is taken away from me today, if something is taken away from me today, you can still grow up under this Einstein umbrella. You can still grow up under this Starbucks umbrella. You can be the manager one day. You can be the general manager. You can run the store. As I continue to grow and expand, you know, there's going to be different opportunities that come upon us. And I just wanted to groom these people and make these people aware of that. And we're not going to stop now. We're going to continue to grow. And I want you guys to be a part of my extended family and to grow with me. And it was touching because once again, I got a chance to, you know, hire people that actually went to school with my father.
In 2016, Haslem was inducted into the Miami Chamber of Commerce Sports Hall of Fame for all of his contributions to South Florida.
He embodies what this event is about because he is from South Florida, he has played in South Florida, and he has made our community better.
You know, it's an amazing accomplishment. I'm humbled, honored, and I'm thankful. If you grow up in the inner city with family, is one thing you learn is you fight together, you fight against each other, but you fight for each other. I consider all my teammates family. I consider all my coaches family. So all of my success, I would have, you know. And yeah, I get a little choked up because they mean a lot to me.
Now, that's always touching to know that I'm impacting people in my community. People that I personally have relationships with as well.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. Well, we've already revisited some of his first games, some of his best games, and his ventures outside the game. Udonis Haslem, you already know it. He has a fun-loving and outgoing personality. He's also had his fair share of memorable moments right on this very show. Matter of fact, this marks UD's 8th episode of Inside the Heat. So let's go back in time to some unforgettable moments that he shared with us along the way.
That's why they give me my own show, man, because they know I got a lot of stuff to say. It doesn't get no better than this. I'm living a dream. You want to sit down with me while I do the interview? I got a little something I can show you now. You might want to get on camera. Oh, nice. You got the fro out now? There it is. This is Inside the Heat.
I don't remember this one. Y'all came over and watched me get my hair braided?
I get it braided like once or twice a week, depending on the game schedule.
I always had to have my hair braided because in South Florida, anytime it looked like that, I almost passed out. Every week, I had my hair braided.
Oh, yes, sir. Boy, you coming home with me tonight, boy.
Somebody was with me that got sick that day.
We have a man down right now. Man down.
That's what I remember about this day is James Jones got seasick. And all I could do was laugh at him because I've never been seasick a day in my life, knock on wood. But I remember fighting with that fish. It was fun. Whoa. I'm a fisherman.
That's it? See? It wasn't that bad, bro.
No, it wasn't. I just like other people asking the questions.
This was me and Dwayne doing that interview against each other. Was really weird. That was the first time we actually, I think, sat down and kind of like interviewed one another.
This is weird.
When I found out you was Udonis Haslem, the guy I watched at Florida.
Yeah, I was a fat boy. You can go ahead and say it. I was quick on my feet, though.
Yeah, no,
things was moving back there. That was actually kind of cool and it was actually kind of fun, but we were actually nervous because we were used to other people asking us questions. It was the first time we had to like interview one another, so it was actually kind of nerve-wracking and nervous. But that's my brother for life, man. We always gonna figure it out, and it's always gonna be fun. It's always gonna be authentic, and it's always gonna be great. Early on in my career, for me, I just led by action. I go out there and play hard, led on the line, and guys would see that and they would follow. Now it's become more vocal. I can thank the Shaquille O'Neals and the Alonzo Mournings and the Eddie Joneses and the Brian Grants and Dwayne, LeBron and Chris and Gary Payton. The list just continues to go on and on. Great basketball minds, and we're all sharing information with one another. I'm going to pass that to the next generation.
What I love seeing about UD is he's fully vested in helping this next generation of Miami Heat leaders.
We got to have it right here and right here. So that's our DNA, that's who we are.
Everybody want this game like you want your last breath. 2 words, man, not tonight.
UD, man, he holds everybody accountable.
He's always going to be real with you. He's going to tell you the truth, even if it's positive or negative.
When these guys step out on the basketball court and if they're not prepared to perform at the highest level, I take that personal. I live through these guys. So all the things that I've learned from some of these great minds, man, I want to pass these tools on these guys as well so they can be champions. I'm the type of guy that just never really takes time to celebrate, my moments. I'm always thinking about the next step, the next phase, the next challenge, the next opportunity. Really looking back at these things, it's an amazing, feeling to see how much, I've done, over these years, how much I've accomplished, how much people have embraced me, how many people I've been able to impact, the impact that I've had on the organization. It's all the reasons why I'm here and why I wanted to stay.
If I never, get another contract and never play another game of basketball, I still want to be able to impact this community one way or another. I want to win for all the people that said Udonis Haslem couldn't win.
Miami world champions for the 3rd time in 8 years.
Nobody never gave me a chance. Nobody never gave me nothing. And I just continued to work hard. I'm just thankful.
To impact this organization, which, chose me and gave me opportunity when nobody else did to impact this city, which is the city I'm born and raised. And for me being here, it fits everybody. It balances out everything, for me in my life and what I need. I think for the organization and what they need from me, I understand that very well. Right now, it's a perfect position and I love it. I'm focused on pushing these guys, man, but I couldn't have written it any better, and I have an opportunity to write my own ending as well, so I'm thankful for that.
Udonis Haslem embodies everything the Miami Heat stand for: hard work, toughness, grit, sacrifice. Yes, all of it. He continues to preach and pass those principles on to his teammates, and his importance to the organization is remarkable and immeasurable. He's the leader both on the court, in the locker room, and in the community. The city of Miami is proud to call him one of their own, and so are we. We hope you enjoyed looking back with the captain, and thank you so much for watching this edition of Inside the Heat. I'm Eric Reed.